I was talking to someone on the phone the other day and telling them, very simple reasoning about this meditation. So the person, she's in the class here. She's learned to master Russian at the university. And I just told her, you don't master Russian by coming to an occasional Russian class. You have to really make a commitment to doing it. You don't master any language, other than the language you're born with, by attending an occasional class. You have to commit yourself. You have to make an effort to learn it. And, learning Russian is like minor leagues compared to, learning how to get a spiritual life. I mean, this is probably one of the single most difficult things to learn. And yet, and in order to learn it, you have to learn how to, first of all, master yourself. If you don't master your inner world, the tension, the anxiety, all that stuff that goes on, emotional stuff, a spiritual life is really a long distance away. If you don't get your head quiet so that you can begin to receive knowledge, wisdom from the universe, which it's dying to give us. Understand, spiritual enlightenment is really a long distance from where one is. So it requires training, it requires time, it requires patience, it requires commitment. It's not just what I do, it's what anyone does that is supposedly teaching one how to have a spiritual life. One has to have a commitment to it. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Just as it's impossible to learn Russian if you attend a class once every 3 months, it doesn't work. Unless you were born in Russia, and then it's easy. You grow up speaking the language. So what I'm saying is that, the hardest thing to master on this planet is oneself. We are the ultimate mystery. You understand what goes on inside us is such a mystery that it takes time to be able to build a system to penetrate that mystery. And why is it a mystery? Because what's inside us, is directly linked to higher energy in the universe. And all the tension, all the anxiety, that voice that never shuts up in us, whatever language it happens to speak, you understand? It's just us setting up obstruction to connecting with higher energy in the universe. And it comes not because we want to set up obstruction, it comes because we don't have any training. We haven't learned how to build a system inside that is strong enough to allow this higher energy to enter us and transform us inside. Get the mind quiet. Get the emotions quiet. Learn how to master sexual energy. Learning how to develop all of these powerful energies inside ourselves, which, really can either give us life or it can take life away. And that's all meditation is about. That's all it's about. I don't teach religion, I teach very basic, fundamental approach to one's inner life and to one's spiritual life. Because I really have learned throughout my life that if you don't go back to the fundamentals and make sure that they're highly developed inside oneself, the rest of it doesn't work. As I said once, it's like building a pyramid from the top down. You can't do it. You got to build it from the foundation up, brick by brick, stone by stone. You build a house from the foundation up. You don't build it from the roof down. And we as human beings have to learn to do this with ourselves, to build ourselves from the very foundation, to the pinnacle,
It's
which is
2
our
o'clock.
direct link to God, higher energy, whatever one wants to call it. And basically, it's what I teach. What I teach is not really complicated. It's not easy to do. And the only reason it's not easy to do is because people are up against the one person who doesn't let them do it. And that's themselves. And we have a tendency of blaming everybody else for our problems. It's always the politics, the this, the that, the job, but it's not, because if you get your own act together, all the rest of that, it just becomes kind of Maya. It's all an illusion. And at best, it's a teacher what to do and what not to do in life. Does anyone have a question they would like to ask? And as I always say, it's threefold what I teach. It's developing a connection with spirit. It's working out your karma. And how do you work out your karma? You ultimately grow enough inside to just become a happy person living in the world. It's very simple. And it's activating Kundalini. All of these three forces are really powerful. Life is a very powerful energy. Karma is a very powerful energy. Spirit is a very powerful energy. Kundalini is a very powerful energy. So in order to activate and use these energies consciously, we have to build a system, a chakra system inside that's strong enough to do it. And that's all meditation is for, to build that kind of system. Does anybody have a question they would like to ask?
I have a question.
Yes.
And sorry I was late today. Okay, so this time and also last time when I was feeling gratitude and I started to feel like opening up, then I had this feeling of kind of sexual aroused. And I wonder, is it wrong? And why is that?
Well, it's not wrong. I mean, you look, when you do inner work, you have to deal with both the heart and the sexual area. And you have to learn how to internalize that energy. And when you open the heart, you understand it's the seat of love, it's the seat of joy, it's the seat of happiness in a human being. You offer gratitude up to God for your life, for what you're learning in your life. And when the energy moves through the sexual area, this is the area of rebirth inside a human being. And you might feel sexually aroused, but but if you internalize that energy and you bring it to the base of the spine, that energy will activate Kundalini. That is the energy of the male-female principle coming together, the marriage of the yin and the yang, the Shiva Shakti, coming together. And when that marriage takes place, it gives birth to Kundalini. So you might feel sexual energy. It doesn't mean you're going to run out and have sex. It means that you internalize the energy and use it to activate Kundalini. Sexual energy is a really powerful energy. We don't ordinarily know how to use it properly inside ourselves. This meditation is a way of learning how to do this. And the whole secret is, to bring it to the base of the spine and allow it to activate Kundalini. Same thing with the heart chakra. The whole secret is to learn how to open the heart so you can truly be a happy person, that you can be a compassionate person, a loving person, a person who's not afraid of life, not afraid of allowing life to be your teacher. You can offer gratitude up to God, to spirit. And all of that just works together. And that's part of the development of the chakra system. is learning how to internalize all those different energies and use them, to build an inner life instead of you get a little sexually aroused and you're running around having sex with everybody. I mean, that doesn't work. That just creates a lot of nightmares for people. But internalizing it, bringing it to the base of the spine, activating Kundalini. And it's an incredible way to build your inner life. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's just learning how to use it consciously. And that's part of the mastery of this meditation practice. You learn how to use these energies to develop a chakra system that is strong enough so that you can be connected to God, connected to spirit. You can work out your karma. You master your sexual energy. You don't let it run away with you. So it gets you into trouble and it creates sometimes nightmares in people's lives. You become a master of the heart chakra. You understand? So there's love, there's joy, there's a transcendence of fear, insecurity, and all that emotional garbage that really drives people crazy. All of that is what we have to learn so that ultimately we can do three things: allow ourselves to receive spiritual energy, work out our karma by living in the world and learning how to be a happy person, and activation of Kundalini, which is the pathway to enlightenment. We master those three things. You can't master them without mastering the chakra system and building a strong inner life. And then if you're in a relationship and your sexual relationship it's healthy, it's organic, it's loving, you understand, and it also will enable you to activate Kundalini, but it's done in a conscious way. It's not done promiscuously, because that really creates just a nightmare for oneself and for a lot of people that we get involved with. But in order to do what I'm talking about, you really have to develop a chakra system that's capable of doing it. And that's what I say, the hardest thing to master is ourselves. That's the most difficult thing to master. And that's all this meditation is about, learning to master yourself. I didn't plan on talking about this today, but okay, came up. And it's a very good thing for people to learn, because the heart, sexual energy, all of these energies are really powerful. And if we learn to develop a chakra system that can master these energies, they give life. I mean, we're all a product of sex, for God's sake. It gives life. But it gives life inside us, not just outside us, inside us, which enables Kundalini to rise and to ultimately bring about a state of enlightenment. Please try and sit still while I talk. It's really important that people sit still. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? I hope this makes some sense. I don't know.
Yes.
And it took me a long time to learn this stuff. I didn't talk about this 25 years ago. It took a long time to learn these things. Many experiences and all kinds of stuff I went through. And in going through it, I had to develop a chakra system that was strong enough to allow me to get through it. And then it becomes knowledge. It becomes real knowledge, not something you just read in a book and it's intellectual and you file away as information. It becomes living experience that can be shared with people that want to learn it, Does anyone else have a question I would like to ask? Okay, anyway, thank you. And there'll be a class on Tuesday. And I hope to see everybody there, and God bless you all. And
Thank you.
thank you. I mean, look, just to finish this up, when you ask questions and when I talk this way and all through the class, I learn. I'm here to learn also. I'm not here. I mean, the best thing you can do as a teacher is learn. And that's what I do here. I learn. I learn to grow. I need to continue to develop my own life. I'm not a perfectly enlightened master, thank God. I mean, there's still room to grow in my life and still room to serve God and higher energy. And I'm just grateful to all of you for being here so that we can do this. So there'll be a class on Tuesday, and God bless you and thank you.
God bless you too.
Thanks, Stuart.
See you again.
Bye. Good night.